Poppin', everybody, welcome back. Today we're talking about everything being hard. So pretty much everything in your life is going to be hard. You just have to choose your hard. Like divorce is hard, marriage is hard, being broke is hard, being rich is hard. So you literally...
Being fit is hard.
Everything
obese is hard.
Is this facing the right way?
Yeah.
Should you face me like that? Alright, cool.
That's probably perfect right there.
Yeah, we cool. Alright, so yeah, being fit is hard, being fat is hard. Literally, you have to choose your hard.
Yeah.
It's most things in life that take a lot of time to obtain are difficult.
Which
just
pretty much
flat out
everything,
facts.
Everything will take a lot of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like being fat, it's going to take you a while to get fat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be hard to get fat. But I feel like getting overweight is kind of like a subconscious thing. Where like they're just stuffing their face, and then like one day they're like, holy shit.
It's probably because of emotion.
Yeah,
Emotions.
people eat away their emotions sometimes.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is like stuff that's not always their fault. Like I'd say a big part of obesity is genetics
And
mostly.
metabolism.
Yeah.
You don't think so? All right,
No.
let's hear your side of the spectrum.
It's such like a small number. It's such a small percentage of genetics that play a factor in obesity.
I would actually. So what would you say the cause is? The main cause?
What you put into your body, the food that you eat.
Yeah, these are...
Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. But then the
Right.
question is, why do people eat what they eat?
Because they like that food and they don't want to change their ways.
So you're saying it's mostly a personal responsibility problem?
It's a personal
Yeah,
responsibility problem.
I would waver more like 50-50. I'd say a lot of obesity, more than we would think. I mean, it would be easy if it was a personal responsibility problem because that means each individual person could fix their own situation. But that's not always the case. I think probably about half of it is probably a product of the type of lifestyles that people are forced to live nowadays.
It's the exactly, you said it right there. It's the lifestyle. It's not the genetics. It's the lifestyle that we choose to live. People who get fat and like they just don't have the willpower to face. They don't have the willpower to give up what they like truly enjoy.
Yeah,
the
sacrifice,
comfortness, you know? It's so comfortable sitting on the couch. It's comfortable eating a fucking pizza all the time.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
It's so comfy. It makes
Gotta
you
get
feel
out.
good. It triggers the dopamine receptors in your brain. Your body feels fucking on cloud 9. It's so easy to do that, but you have to have willpower to stop that shit.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably about half of it.
Yeah, you have to be able to sacrifice. You know, like I think it's way more than half. Like 75% is just their choice.
I think you guys aren't giving people enough credit. I think most people, because who likes to be fat? I mean, being fat is not something that people like.
But
Like people
everyone
will,
is
but
capable of not being
It's
fat.
so hard to get in shape.
I guess that's fair.
It is so difficult to obtain a physical structure that you can like dream of. It's so hard.
It is incredible.
I'm
hard.
trying to right
It
now,
is,
and
it
it
is.
is fucking hard.
Yeah,
but I would say
it's
for us three in particular. I would say it's quite easy for us to not be fat.
Because of our
Alright.
willpower and what we've been instilled with.
See, I would argue it's the opposite. I'd say it's mostly our metabolism that keeps us from getting fat. Like
Bro.
obviously we don't stuff our faces all day.
Metabolism is a
But at the
huge
same
factor.
time,
That is.
we're in a position where we can eat just about anything we want, like just about whenever we feel like we want to eat it.
we're
But we
aware of
don't.
that. But we're aware of
I have
our
the
metabolism.
willpower to not eat shitty food.
Yeah, and
Like,
and
it's
I feel
just
Yeah,
that-
I mean, and you don't eat when you're not hungry.
Right.
I feel like obese people have a hard time understanding their metabolism. Or maybe they even be aware of their metabolism but still feed themselves. Like we're obviously, us three are aware of our metabolism. Like we know that we can eat pretty much
Like, what can
whatever.
I get away with, you
Yeah,
know?
we
Right.
know what we can get away with. And I feel like obese people probably are aware that their metabolism's not great because they look in the mirror and they're like, oh shit, yeah, my metabolism's not great. So they're aware that they could definitely treat themselves better. And they don't.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying, though, is like what you just said, we can get away with a lot. There's a lot of people that are not in the same situation, and they can get away with almost nothing. So it's a lot harder for them to be, like, just barely on the cusp of being overweight. It's about as hard for them to do that as it is hard for someone like us to go to the gym every single day. Like, does that make sense? Like, a lot of people can get away with absolutely
yeah,
nothing.
but a lot of them don't even go to the gym.
They aren't doing anything.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
what
a fair amount of them, yeah, I'd
Yeah,
agree.
and I feel like society's normalizing it as well. Like you'll see plus size models in the
Yeah,
mall, and
no, that-
you're like, what the fuck? Like nothing.
I
against them.
respect everyone, but like
respect.
that's just it's not a healthy lifestyle.
should
Like
not be promoting unhealthy
you will not live as long If you don't want to live
Facts.
as long, that's fine by me.
facts.
That's your choice. But like,
If
it
that's
is
what-
not healthy to be obese
that's
at
what-
all. You can't even argue that it's healthy.
I mean, if it's what makes you happy, and
Then go
you're okay with
do
what
that.
you're.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing.
If it makes
I
you
agree with you guys
happy, go
completely
ahead.
that it shouldn't be something that's glorified.
Yeah, like I really don't understand. They're trying to normalize an unhealthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
I don't get that, man.
And they promote unhealthy foods. Oh fuck. Hopefully that doesn't
We
stop.
straight?
Yeah. We. No. Alright. No, we straight. No, we straight. Yeah. So, and I feel like they're literally promoting unhealthy lifestyles. Like, it makes no sense to me. No sense to me. Like, you'll see on TV Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's, but you'll never see like eat healthy. And it's just like, why are they doing this?
Yeah, I think this ties into. I saw a TikTok of yours the other day, and it was, I forget exactly what you said, but it was something along the lines of like, you are not okay the way you are, and I think that really is like the right message, like to tell people, because they're really not. Like, you have so much room to improve, and if someone's not telling you that you're not what you could be, then how are you?
Someone's not telling you the
there?
truth. Yeah, like you need someone to give you a nudge if you can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
To say like, dude, there's room to improve. Like I love how like you guys, when I say something, you guys are like, Dan, that's dope, but you guys know I can do more. Like I'm the same way that you guys tell me something and I'm like, but yeah, that's dope, but you can strive for more. Like there's always room for more. Always room for more.
Getting that improvement and getting more is fucking difficult.
It's
difficult, man.
Everything
like,
is difficult.
you have to push yourself.
You have to choose your hard. You have to choose your hard. Like
I'm gonna choose to wake up at 6 o'clock tomorrow and go run, even though it's very uncomfortable and it makes me, like, in the moment, I'm like, oh, like this is a drag. Like, I'm up this early.
But then
after, oh my
feel
god,
fucking euphoric almost.
Yes.
And it ties into like your job too. Like working a desk job is hard. It's hard. But so is becoming a millionaire.
Yes.
So it's literally up to you to choose. Like what do you want to? What are you willing to sacrifice? Like to become a millionaire, you have to be able to sacrifice like getting fucked up on the weekends. Like you have to grind. You have to grind. But to live a desk job, you have to sacrifice your like individuality. You have to sacrifice being able to work for someone else. Like everything comes with sacrifice. Damn.
We love that. We love that.
Yeah, no, if I can.
Them dogs running loose up there.
Go on.
I definitely agree. What were we talking about? Desk jobs, yeah. I definitely don't think. I feel like it's important to give people the benefit of the doubt, and like a lot of times a desk job is like what's good for someone in a certain situation. I think, and this is kind of the way I look at it, is not. Well, choose your heart, obviously. That's pretty true. But also, there's risk everywhere as well. Like, choosing your heart is the same thing as choosing your risk. Like, yeah, you can work like 100-hour weeks and become a self-made millionaire by 22. But by doing that, you risk missing out on other things that other kids that age like are doing. You risk missing out on fun memories that could last a lifetime. But by the same token, by spending too much time not focusing on getting bread and having too much fun, I mean, you risk your future stability by like not having enough money to do the things that you want to do. I mean, it's a risk both ways. Like staying inside is a risk, going outside is a risk. It's just you have to choose which one you want to take.
Everything is a risk.
And if you do nothing, that's a risk too.
Yeah.
So everything literally comes down to what risk you're willing to take. You know,
exactly.
Like with me, I dropped out of college. Huge risk.
That's a big old
risk. Like everyone looked at me like I was fucking crazy.
I would say not as big of a risk nowadays as it used to be.
It's getting more normalized, which I think is dope. I think it's dope.
It is sick.
But there were so many people that doubted me, and I had to risk being doubted by fucking a lot of people. But I sacrificed missing out on living in a dorm, you know, like hanging out all the time, literally all the time with my friends. And what came with that was I had to sit in my room by myself all the time, carless, had to get a job, work 5 days a week, you know. But while I was doing that, I was building something so that I could work for myself, essentially.
Yeah, and by the same token, you could say when you are like, let's say you did go to college and you did live in a dorm and you were like hanging out with friends all the time and distracted from like building your TikTok or whatever. That if you did that, you would be risking not having what you have now.
Yeah, and I'd be in debt. So going to college
Yeah.
is a risk itself by being in debt, and I would have to figure out how to. I literally just can't imagine myself like having like a normal job. Isn't that just like a bizarre
Well,
thought?
what exactly is a normal job to you? Like how would you define it?
like Owens Corning, like just being like a marketer at Owens Corning.
Just your average business job.
Yeah, like I mean, kudos to those people. Like we need those people.
We need those people.
But like me personally,
you won't catch yourself doing that.
I just couldn't. I couldn't. You know,
I
but
couldn't either.
everyone is different. Everyone is different. So it just comes down to choosing your heart. Like you can't let others influence your choosing either. Like
In a negative manner.
Yeah,
like you can listen. Like your parents will have a big influence on you. They'll push you in like the direction that they think
is best.
But you don't even have to follow that. You can just say, you know what, I appreciate that knowledge, and I'm gonna like take that, absorb it, filter it. You know, I might use some of that.
Form your own perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take in everyone's like opinion and the influence that they bring, and like form your own opinion from it.
Yeah, like a lot of people will take their parents' opinions and that is like the final opinion. You know, like they'll spend their whole life trying to please their parents, and then they'll be 40 years old and be like, "Wow, I hate my life."
Yep.
Because Gary Vee said this one thing. And it was just like, he was like, so some kid was like, "My mom wants me to be a lawyer. They're both lawyers, but I'm an artist." And he goes, "So you're gonna have to disappoint your mom now, so you don't hate her later." Isn't that crazy? I was like, "Darn."
You don't want that hate later.
You don't want to resent your
a
parents.
midlife crisis, man.
I think there's a really great like golden nugget of like truth to that point, and it's that there's a certain amount of hardship that you have to go through now in order to make sure that there's not a worse hardship later. I feel like a lot of people have a problem where they don't want to sacrifice conflict in the present. Like they don't want to make it's like when you have an uncomfortable truth to tell someone, but they have to know. It's something that they have to know. Like you have to make them extremely uncomfortable by telling them something they really don't want to hear.
Yes.
And I mean, it's tough because that person like might hate you for it. But if it's something that they have to hear, you're doing them so much more good by putting them through that hardship in the present than when it comes later on and they don't know something that they needed to know.
They find out from someone else.
Yeah.
And then you resent them that much more for not being able to be honest with you, and then it's just honestly, telling the truth is always
Telling the truth and lying are both difficult as well.
Yeah, they're both difficult.
They're both difficult.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes being kind of like I would say like a dick, but I mean sometimes being that straightforward asshole is like actually a good thing. Like in certain situations, not in a lot of them, because it's good to be nice. But
it's very good to be nice, but sometimes you gotta tell the truth. You gotta be blunt. Like
it's nice to be nice to the nice.
It's nice to be nice to the nice.
I can agree with that. I can get behind that.
Definitely treat people how you like to be treated.
Yeah, most definitely.
The golden rule.
Thousands of years that idea has been around. So I think it's
very evident.
In this book I read today, though, it's treat people how they want to be treated. This is what they said. I was like, damn. Even if it might not feel right to you, like if you're talking to someone that you need that connection with, you gotta treat them how they'd be treated. Like
what book were you reading today?
It's 7 Levels of Communication. It's actually fire.
Okay. How far are you into it?
Halfway.
By Dave Ramsey?
No. It's by some other dude, but Dave Ramsey's quotes on the front. He's like, if you read this book, you'll succeed in business. I'm shit like that.
Buy this book right now.
It'll make you a millionaire immediately.
But yeah, so it says how there's 4 different types of people. There's a dominant person, someone like you just be straight up with like.
Yeah.
So like, say you're their real estate agent. You found them a house. Hey, I got it. Shoot me a call when you because they don't want to waste any of their time.
Yeah.
And then there's someone influence. So someone who like you want to influence, be like, hey buddy, found the house. I think you'll fucking love it. Well, not say fucking, but I think you'll really love it. Perfect area, exactly what you were looking for. The square foot you were looking for, like gas them up.
Right.
Then there's a third one. There's 4, but the third one is compliance. You have to give them every single little intricate detail. So it's like, found the house on a cul-de-sac, 3,500 square feet. You can go from 1 to 230. Bring the whole family. Shit like that. And I totally forget what the 4th one was.
Isn't it something about like safety and?
Oh yeah. What's it called? Servant? Something maybe? Something like that. Yeah, and it was like. You mentioned how like protect and serve. So like found a perfect neighborhood, you can bring the whole family on a perfect cul-de-sac.
Really safe.
Really safe for the whole family. You know, like you have to figure out. And then the quote that followed that was like, you have to sell how the buyer buys.
Yeah.
So everyone's different.
That is a excellent point. I was just like kind of a thought I had what you were saying that is I think a lot of people that I experience kind of like a mix of both. Like I can think of someone immediately off the top of my head that would be influencer and compliance. I think.
You want every little detail.
Like, well, not me particularly, but when they talk, it's like they are persuasive and they'll tell you every single thing there is to know about that.
Yeah.
But I think that is a good point though, that you need to like if you
know who you're talking to.
Yeah, exactly.
Know your character, know your avatar pretty much.
What's your character?
Mine, so like it says you have to ask whoever you're working with this question. If you had to ask your friends how they would describe you, would they describe you as social and outgoing, oriented and perfect? Fuck, what were the other two? Damn, yeah.
It's all good.
I'm not gonna think of it off dome. I have it written down though.
What
But
would you say you are?
definitely social and outgoing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree.
So
Definitely.
what would you would be the persuasive one out of those four?
Yeah,
The influence.
Yes, for sure. And I would say you'd be dominance.
You'd have to be straightforward.
Yeah.
You're straight up with it.
I'd say you're a mix of outgoing and the safety one. You're like, because I know you always talk about how family is like crucial. Like without family, there's nothing. So yeah, I feel like we have a good mix here.
Yeah, Ty, I'd say
Absolutely.
you're kind of like a touch of all of them in the way.
A touch of
like,
all of them,
like,
yeah. That's a good one.
like I feel like you can be outgoing when you need to be.
Very.
And I want to say that you like to have all the details, but I know you like to be spontaneous too. So
Yeah. Both of you guys.
Dabble in everything, bro.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything, you know. What is it? Moderation is key.
Right.
Just getting
Right.
a little
No.
bit of everything.
Know a little about a lot.
A little about a lot. It's like an inch deep for a mile, or a mile in an inch.
I actually like knowing a little about a lot,
Yeah,
rather
dude.
than a
'Cause then you
lot
can-
about a little.
You can
because
relate to so many people.
Exactly. If you know
Like just
a lot,
even a little bit about sports, you can talk to someone about sports.
Yes. If you have that spectrum, then that opens that many more gates to communication within a conversation, and it just spreads.
Yeah, I'd say they're different usefulnesses for different people. Like think about someone like Joe Rogan. He knows at least a little bit about almost everything,
Yes.
but he's not
So
really
much.
like he's an expert on the things that he like does in his free time, like jujitsu or comedy or whatever he does in his free time.
Like a doctor.
But like he doesn't know like biology or
Right.
like physics or anything like that.
A doctor needs to know
And their
a lot
expertise.
about a little.
Exactly. Like a surgeon needs to
Right.
know everything about like
The human body.
foot bones or
Yeah,
whatever.
foot
That's what
bones.
you specialize in.
They're-
Like you
yeah.
have to know everything about that.
But doctor type shit, or like, dude, there's like doctors for literally everything, like hand doctors,
Yeah.
like
Like-
hip doctors.
Dudes specialize, yeah.
Dudes specialize, and it's crazy how intricate the body is that they need doctors for every fucking part of your body.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Absolutely
it's
wild.
just too complicated for one person
yeah.
to know enough to be able to do a bunch of different body parts.
Yeah. All right, so I think we can cash it. Felt like you flowed pretty good
What do we
there.
got right now? About 18? Is that what it says?
Yeah, I think so.
18.
So ultimately, choose your hard. Figure out what's worth sacrificing for. Whether it's like if someone's not benefiting your life, like in a relationship or something, you have to choose the hard. Do you choose the hard of staying with them, or choose the hard of leaving them? You know,
Right.
Both
like,
hard.
Right.
they're both hard. You just got to be able to determine what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
So.